All right, so hello again, it's me, Nikki from So You Pick. Here's the final part. Well, close. So now that you've got everything on, you're gonna turn it right sides together and you're just gonna sew from the cuffs down here all the way to the bottom. You wanna make sure that you backstitch here and you backstitch at the bottom. So if you want to, you can pin. I don't necessarily, so I will just start sewing. So I'll get you situated. All right, so I'll start here in the cuffs and I'll sew a couple and backstitch. And then as I'm going, I just match them and meet the ends. 1/4 inch seam, so I'm using the edge of the foot with all of them. If you have a serger, I will use the I will serge it first and then I will sew it. But just for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just showing you just with the sewing machine. All the way down, and then the other side. After we do this, I will show you how to cut the hood, and I'm gonna do a hood liner. So leave it turned inside out, and then we're gonna go over to the cutting board. All right, so what I'll first do is I take out my Qaspeq and I'll pull it out this way. And the reason I do that is so I can measure how long I need to make my hood. Okay, so that is 13.5. So I'm gonna do a hood liner. So I'm probably gonna make it 13 3/4. So, like I showed you at one point, traditionally they used to just put their hand out this way and then make a goose, and you just kind of cut that way. So that's what this is. That's my goose. And then this way. So I only need this about 13, let's see, 13 3/4. So there's my mark. So that's my hood pattern. I'm gonna do the hood out of this and the liner out of this. So I will like line it with a different color. Make it a little bit taller, and then I'll just cut. there's one hood pattern. It's a little too long. Put this down. Okay. So then you're gonna do a liner. So if you're not doing a liner, you could sew up here, sew this part here, and then you could do your trimming on the edge. Or you could do, so I don't like ironing, but you could do the iron, you could do the double iron like that. Can't really see, but the double. So, I don't necessarily like to iron, so I like to do it this way. I will cut the liner the same size as the outside. I didn't grow up, I don't know how to use patterns, so I've never read patterns. I don't even really read patterns right now. I've always just kind of sewn. When my cousin taught me how to make my first Qaspeq, we just used a Qaspeq and made a pattern. So, all right. Now that I've got those done, all right, take them to the sewing machine. Because I'm lining them, I'm gonna sew both on this part here and the top part here. So both of them. Then we'll take them to the iron. Get out of my sewing room. Okay. Quarter-inch seam again, and the top here up on the curve. I'm gonna turn this one right side out, because once I'm done sewing the other one, I'm just gonna feed this in it, and I will show you how to sew it. So now we're going to take, this one is right side out, the right side, yeah, okay. You're gonna feed it on the inside here. You're gonna match this top seam here, you're gonna pin that, and this center seam here, the front, and pin that. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you are going to sew around the face. And then we're gonna take it out, iron it flat, and we'll sew it onto the body and we're done. Okay, so let me just come. Maybe that's a better angle. It's all right. I'll just flatten that out. Okay. Sorry if you can't see it real well, but I will show you what we sewed. This is what I'm talking about. You've sewn all the way around the face. So all the way around here. So then what you do is you're gonna flip it right side out. And I always turn it so that my outside fabric is on the outside. I'm gonna take this over to the ironing board and iron it nice and flat, and then I like to do a top stitch on the outside. So I'm gonna iron this real quick. Iron it nice and flat. I'm just gonna do a top stitch right along the edge here. That's just to give it a finishing look. Forgot to mention, when you take it to the ironing board, get a good iron crease in the back center so that when you put it on the inside of your qaspeq, you know where to pin it. As you can see, my liner is just a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna trim that. Okay, here we go. You've got your qaspeq. Okay, I'm gonna take mine and iron it good crease real quick. All right, so I've got the front of my qaspeq is here, the back is here. I've got two good iron creases. So what I do with my hood right side out, I'm gonna match this back center crease. I feed it on the inside. So let's see if I can do this a little bit easier. Okay, I'm gonna feed this inside my qaspeq like this. Matching my back center crease with that good iron crease right in the center, and I'm gonna throw a pin in there. Then I'm meeting the front center crease with the front crease right there and a pin, and then you kind of pull it out this way and you just pin around. So sometimes what happens is either your hood will be too long and you might have to throw a pleat in, or it might be too short and you might have to throw a pleat in. That's why I do that measurement, and I just kind of account for my seam allowances since I'm doing two. So. All right, so then I'm just gonna sew around here. I always start from the back center crease. So what I'll do is I set that center with the center, and I'll just start sewing. You want to be careful when you get on the sides, because you don't want it all bunched up, or you don't want to throw any extra pleats in there. And by this, I mean by the two corners. I'll show you when I'm done sewing. Because I'm doing 3 layers, I'm always making sure I'm getting all 3 of them. And I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam. And then I always take mine to the serger when I'm done. This was the 2 sides that I was talking about. You want to be careful when you're doing the 2 sides, because you can't really see, but you can see better. On this side, I got a little unexpected pleat in there. So I'm gonna rip that little spot and redo that spot, and then also, because like I said, I had 3 layers, there's a little spot here where I got kind of close, so I'm gonna redo that side, and I will just turn it the other opposite direction and sew on the other side. There you can see where there you can see where I went with the other thread. So I take them to my serger. I might as well show you my handy dandy serger. When I'm serging, I always start in the back as well. there's my serged edge. Gives it a nice clean look. What I will do then, because I'm showing you, when you turn your qaspeq inside out, what happens is you can see the serged edges are kind of like bitchatted any old way. So what I'll do is I'll flip them up this way and I'll top stitch. So show you what I'm doing. I will flip it that way and I'll top stitch on that side down. And that just kind of gives it a nice clean look. I ran out of bobbin thread, but I will finish that once I get this. So, and there you have it. Here is how you make a traditional qaspeq. I have the video posted of how to cut one. I cut it with a skirt, so this one has a curved bottom. Let me just stand up and show you. You guys are not the greatest with technology, so we'll leave this for the pros. So, oh, the lighting stinks right there. Okay. So there you have it. This one's got a curved bottom, the curved here, and oops, there we go. So with your just traditional kind of, you know, traditionally they used whatever trimming they could find back in the day. Usually it was more kind of simple. Let's see if I can find one. Just while I'm showing you. So here's a simple kind of traditional qaspeq. And this is kind of one that I use when I'm making the skirt ones. So you can see it's got a lot more. This is one of my grandma made. It's got the rickrack on it. So I kind of like the simplicity look of just the simple look. You can really go fancy with your qaspeqs though, if you want to. But so there you have it, a traditional qaspeq tutorial. If you have questions, you can email me. So Yupik, you can send me a message, subscribe. Thank you, Quyana.